Hey everybody, I'm Brandon and this is Comic Conversation, and today we will be talking about Absolute Carnage. It is a storyline I've wanted to tackle for a long time because I've been alluding to it for episodes yonder back. If you look at the episode on Symbiote, SpiderMan, or Carnage USA, I said this day was coming, and now that day is here and 3 issues are out. And I have read all 3. The story, of course, brought to you by Donny Cates, Ryan Stegman, Frank Martin, and JP Mayer. I'm excited. Let's jump into it. This is going to be a very quick summary, or at least as quick as I can make it. If you've not read any of Venom, it's okay. You can jump into this story without having read it before. But there will be spoilers ahead, so prepare for that. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Here we go. In the beginning, there was nothing, and in that nothing lived Null. Null, the species who created the symbiotes. He is their god, but why did he create them? Because in this nothing, there was the Big Bang and the Celestials gave birth to planets and gave birth to life on those planets. And Null didn't like that because this infinite abyss that we call space is where it dwelled, and Null was happy. So with the symbiotes waged war on all of life until the symbiotes rose up against him, and he's been contained in this planet. What we call the planet of the symbiotes was actually a prison of all these symbiotes uniting, keeping Null down. Fast forward to the future, of course, we are here on Earth, and Venom's on Earth, and many symbiotes have been on Earth, and these symbiotes have bonded with each and, well, I shouldn't say each and every superhero, but it seems like anytime there's something like Venomized, or Venomverse, or Venom something, it seems like there's a symbiote just bonding onto each of these heroes and regular pedestrians, people like Eddie Brock, people like Norman Osborn, people like Cletus Cassidy. So many people have had symbiotes, and on these these symbiotes don't always stay on the same host, but when they do leave, they leave something inside of them. They're not gone completely, and it's been referred to as a codex. These codexes are codices. I learned through this thing, codices is the plural of codex. These codices that have been left inside of these heroes and villains and just people. This is how the symbiotes all communicate with one another, because they're a hive mind, and you can pass on information through each of the hosts within these codices that exist inside of them. It is Cletus Cassidy's goal to collect all of these codices, and maybe with all the codices, I was about to say codexes, awaken Null once again, and a new reign of symbiotes can reign supreme over the galaxy, across the regions of the stars. That's basically the premise. That is what Carnage, Cletus Cassidy, wishes to do, and out there to stop him is Venom. Eddie Brock does not want this to happen. His other, the symbiote, does not want this to happen. And this is, however, gods we're talking about. Interstellar, spatial things happening. And this is too big for Venom to handle on his own. So Eddie Brock goes ahead and he's gonna reach out to the only person he knows who can handle this sort of thing, and that person is Spider-Man does whatever a spider can. Spider-Man is such a great character in this. I mean, Spider-Man's always a great character, but the purpose he serves in this story, he's almost like you. I mean, if Eddie Brock, Venom, is the main protagonist of the story and is like our windows into the story itself, Spider-Man serves as the windows for people who haven't been reading Venom, because he's as confused as anyone else. Like, wait, hold on. Gods? Wait, what's going on? Wasn't Carnage dead? When was he This seems like, when was he resurrected? This seems too much for our rate. This seems like some Avengers-worthy stuff. Why are we handling this? And so I really enjoy how Spider-Man is being used here. And so Venom and Spider-Man are together, and they want to get all the codices before Carnage can. And they need help, so they go to the Maker. The Maker is a Reed Richards from an alternate universe. That universe, the Ultimate Marvel. Reed Richards is here, and he's been here since the Secret War, and so they need to go and extract these codices. The maker, Reed Richards, has a machine that he has not used yet, but has already been working on, and he's going to use this machine to go ahead and pull the codices. That's not what Carnage is going to do. Carnage is willing to just kill people and rip the codices from their spines, and he's done it. And he doesn't care. He's never had scared. It's Carnage. You know who Carnage is, Maximum Carnage. I did a whole thing with Carnage USA. He'll kill you and just rip out your spine, take the codice. So, I already mentioned Maker hasn't actually tried this on anyone yet. You know he's got this machine. So we need someone that Spider-Man and Venom decide to go and get is Norman Osborn. Norman Osborn became the Red Goblin at one point once he injected a Carnage virus into himself, and so he's had access to the symbiote as well, as I mentioned previously. I did not read that storyline. I had boycotted Spider-Man after Brand New Day, and so I'm super behind on Spider-Man stuff. I'm reading it now. So Dan Slott, I've been enjoying what I've been reading, and thank you. But in case you were like me and have been reading, Norman Osborn has had a symbiote at some point, and Spider-Man and Venom are after Norman Osborn. However, they may be too little too late because Carnage is also after him, and man, Carnage, well, literally ensues in this because there's a whole lot going on. It's not just Carnage, and by the way, new Carnage looks creepy as hell. He's bonded with a different symbiote, a more powerful symbiote, and he's like a giant skeleton Carnage. He looks nuts. I really, really dig it. I'm a fan of the way the whole comic looks. But it's not just him, he's infecting other inmates that are inside of the Ravencroft Asylum for the Criminally Insane. And it's all of these symbiotes going after Spider-Man and Venom and Norman Osborn. And Norman Osborn, still a little under the influence of the virus, believes he is Cletus Cassidy, which forms a really creepy, awkward dynamic. And our heroes, well, they lose. Carnage gets Norman Osborn, which only creates more trouble. Our heroes manage to escape. And when I say escape, I mean not really, because I already mentioned the other, like, drones, I guess you want to call them, or just packs of symbiote people. From criminals, like it's really just packs of them. So there's a whole bunch of symbiotes. They're going across the city. They're looking for other people who've had symbiotes on them so they can take the codices, as I mentioned. They find our heroes. They paralyze Mac Gargan, aka the Scorpion, and guess who else becomes a victim of the symbiotes? Miles Morales. Miles Morales, the other Spider-Man, is now, I guess, contracted, like all the symbiotes, like a wave, just kind of got Miles Morales, and now he's one of them. And this is creating a bit of tension between Eddie Brock and his Venom symbiote, his other. You know, if you've seen the movie at least, you know that they have a relationship. There's two, it's the symbiote and Eddie, and they're having a bit of a relationship issue. Because you see, the symbiote really does not want Null, the god, to be awakened. And so he's willing to kill Miles Morales. He's willing to kill Norman Osborn. I don't think Eddie really gives a damn if Norman Osborn is killed or not, but he does not want to kill Miles Morales. Also, he feels like this is a lot to take in right now, and he wants to save the paralyzed Mac Gargan, the Scorpion. He got stabbed in the back. They were trying to remove the codex from his spine, sever his spine, and Venom is willing to save him. But all the symbiote end of this relationship wants to do is just kill and get the job done, and doesn't have time to save Scorpion. He doesn't have time for Eddie's moral code of not wanting to kill Miles Morales. And so Eddie does get his way, but this creates a bit of tension between Venom's host and Venom's symbiote. The symbiote gives a warning that if Eddie is unwilling to do the job that needs to be done, if he is not strong enough to do the job that needs to be done, then he will leave Eddie for someone who is stronger. bit of foreshadowing there. Our heroes leave. Venom is escaped with Scorpion. He's trying to find sanctuary. He heads back to the Maker's place, and there, Spider-Man has found Wolverine, Thing, Captain America, and Bruce Banner. They're all waiting in with the Maker. Everyone's ready to regroup and formulate their plan and see if they can extract the Codice from one of the heroes who has, been venomized in the past. Captain America actually is the one who ends up volunteering first. But by this point, it seems like it's already too late. Carnage is already on location. He's got Norman Osborn, Cletus Cassidy, their little fusion. They're with them. Other symbiotes are there with Carnage. It seems like our heroes have lost. Venom is not ready to fight back. There's too much going on. He has, and I forgot to mention this, I'm so terribly sorry, but there's two young boys there. Norman Osborn's grandson, Normie, and Eddie Brock's son. The son does not know that he is his son. Eddie Brock's son believes he is Eddie's brother. Also, I'm not even completely sure that Eddie Brock's son is even real or a person, because it turns out that he is the codex of a formerly venomized significant other of Eddie's. So I don't really know what to expect there. But Venom, Eddie Brock, is not ready to perform. The symbiote has had enough. Action needs to be taken, and so he leaves for Bruce Banner, and we get, for the first time ever, a venomized Hulk. It's a Venom Hulk, Hulk with the symbiote. The strongest Venom ever, maybe. Who knows? I mean, Hulk is the strongest there is, and so Venom is the strongest they are. I don't know what the conjugation there is, the we are Venom, but but now it's we are Hulk, but it's not. That is how issue 3 ends, and that's absolute carnage in a nutshell. Okay, did you keep up with me? Did you? That's everything so far. I'm taken away by everything that I've read, because it seems like I feel like I am the person who's reading from Spider-Man's perspective. Though I have been keeping up with Venom, I'm not completely caught up. But even still, I've been reading it on the Marvel Unlimited app all at once. And so it's been really interesting seeing how much the Venom storyline has taken, how exciting it all is, how important, not really important, but how solidified into the Marvel Universe Eddie Brock has become. He's not just a Spider-Man side character. He seems like an important figure now in the Marvel Universe. It's very odd seeing that. And so I kind of share the Spider-Man's perspective of, when did this happen? And also, these crossovers and big Marvel events, they kind of happen back to back. Like once one finishes, another one happens. So this is following War of Realms, and I was a little disappointed with War of Realms. I'm not sure if you feel the same way, and I'm not here to debate that. But it's amazing to me that this Venom, Spider-Man, Carnage storyline, to me, is the more exciting storyline of the summer events. It's really nuts. It's a beautiful book too, that's the other thing. And I mean that in the best way possible, because it's also really creepy. But like the artwork, it's phenomenal. You get these big, glorious splash covers. Just phenomenal, I said that already, but great images of seeing like Carnage choking out Spider-Man, or seeing Norman Osborn standing over, just almost looking like Cletus. You don't even see like the crappy Norman hair, you see Norman Osborn looking just like Cletus Cassidy, standing over Peter Parker. Great looks at Eddie and just his emotional state, because he's on the run and he's there with his son who doesn't know he's his son, and there's so much happening. The designs of the characters, some of the best I've ever seen. I've kind of been one of those who felt Venom has looked weird recently, over the last decade or so. Venom was on Scorpion, and so he had a new design, and I didn't like that design. And Carnage has had redesigns, and I didn't always like those designs. But this is, looking at the figures and the colors and the stature, like Venom looks huge, and it almost reminds me of the movie, like the best parts of the movie. I wasn't like a big fan of the movie, but it's nice seeing the shape of Venom and the symbiote and just kind of change. It's very fluid, and I enjoy that. I enjoy the colors. Anytime Carnage is around and he's taking over and he's creating a crisis for our heroes, we get like this glow of red. If you're like a WWE fan, it's almost like Kane through hellfire and brimstone, but it's Carnage and it's through blood and mayhem. I don't know, but seeing that, and then when we're away from Carnage, our colors drift to a more dreary black color, and it really captures, I mean, not just the time of day, but the mood, you know, Venom's on the run, Eddie Brock's on the run, everybody's on the run, and we're hiding in the shadows, and so that's kind of the color we get whenever Carnage isn't on screen. It's nuts, really. I'm a big fan of the artwork. I'm a big fan of everything. Like, to me, this is a perfect storyline so far. And it's not afraid to jump into the fantastic. It's not afraid to go ahead and put our heroes through the ringer. They don't really get a chance to breathe. They're not afraid to put the symbiote on, you know, the Hulk. We get great meetings like SpiderMan and the Maker. You know, and SpiderMan, of course, is a big fan of Reed Richards. They're almost family. Their relationship extends to Spider-Man's very earliest issues. And so coming across this other Reed Richards who's a little less ethical than the Reed Richards that we know, you know, it's fun having these moments. And man, it almost feels like watching a movie, because I don't know if you expect, you know, panels, you know, you kind of see, all right, here's panel 1, panel 2, panel 3, panel 4, but the artwork, you get this great use of space, you know, so when Carnage is reaching out, he's really extending, and when he's over everybody, he's really just like, I've mentioned the tidal wave of Symbiote. That's what it feels like, and get some nice horror elements. When Miles Morales gets covered in symbiote, the creature he becomes, it's not quite doppelganger, but it's something similar. It's eerie, it's scary, it's fascinating, and I am totally looking forward to issues 4 and 5 when they come out. I look forward to doing these videos when they come out, and I really look forward to, in the future, looking over the entire Venom arc and seeing how Venom became so important. But for now, let's just bask for a little bit in absolute Carnage, because it's great. If you haven't been reading, please pick it up. If you have been reading, well, I've done enough talking. Let's keep the conversation going. You comment, you share with your friends, like the page, subscribe to the channel. This is to be seen. Subscribe. Share, tell everybody about it. Hit the little alarm if you want alerts. You know, we've got other great shows on here like 3 in 90, where we review movies, 3 movies in 90 seconds. Man, it's woof, woof, woof. You can also reach out to us on Twitter at Comic Convo, COMICONVO. You can hit me up at Lewis or Brandon on Twitter or Instagram as well. And I think we covered everything. Yeah, I'm done. Get this off. I'm done. This is fun. Let's do it again sometime.